Welcome to the No Cap Sports Show podcast where sports and convos collide. I am your host, the Cobra.
And I'm your host, Coach Milton. Yeah, yo, let's get
What
it.
up, what up, Coach?
Hey, man, it's Friday, brother.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let's get out of here.
Uh-huh.
Beautiful day outside. Week one, college football kicked off last night. it's it's a great day, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I'm excited because every time we have a special guest pop into the building, it's always a special day. We got a lot of viewers and listeners love when our guests come on and learn a lot about them, and this guest is no different. He's been a major part of what I say DC basketball, DMV basketball for over 30 years. See, he's been a major part as a player, and now as a coach slash mentor, and I can use 100 other words to describe him. But yeah, he's somebody that I've always respected as an athlete and as a person. I'm very happy to have him on the show. I don't want to give up too much. I want the viewers and listeners to hear from the man
Hey,
himself.
I love it when you get excited, brother. You
Yeah,
get lost for words. You get to
yeah,
stumbling.
yeah. So without further ado, I'm gonna bring to the stage Douglas Dormu.
Hey, how you doing, good bro?
What's up, man?
Coach.
Man, good man. I was just saying, I like that theme music y'all got going on, man.
I appreciate that. Yeah, had to bring you in right, man. Had to take you back to the old days at Club U.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So yeah, Doug, man, we appreciate you being on the show. You're somebody that I've been wanting on the show for a minute because you're doing a lot of great things out there, especially with our youth out here, in terms of on the DMV basketball circuit. We definitely want to talk about that. But here at the No Cap Sports Show podcast, when we have our guests, we like to start at the beginning because before you were coaching and mentoring, you was a hell of an athlete yourself. So I want to start at the beginning in terms of, when did that light bulb go off, or when did you know that you wanted to be an athlete, and was basketball your first love?
Man, put up in the neighborhood on George Avenue, had 8 older brothers. It was just competitive in the house first. Don't care if we playing basketball on a oatmeal box in the room, whatever. We played throwback tackle in the room, man. It was just competitive. I was like real competitive, and all my brothers, like you say, they had to make me tough off the break. So as soon as I walked out the backyard, I was ready to roll.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, my first love was football.
Okay.
Football, playing number 6, living uptown, playing for number 6, playing against all the top players. Because back then it was club ball, it wasn't AAU. So against the number 11s, number 14s, man, number 10, So it was a culture of being competitive back then. Okay, I played football, baseball, ran track, basketball. We did it all. Playing club ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What was it? Somebody in particular that helped you like that competitive fire? I know you said in the household, your brothers, and just being in a competitive environment. But was there one person in particular that kind of put the battery in your back, like, Doug, you can do some things in terms of basketball, football, whatever it was you wanted to get into?
Yeah, definitely. My mother was, she was put the battery in my back a long time ago. She wanted me to play baseball.
Mm.
She coming from Mississippi, born in Mississippi, 1936. That baseball was big in the South.
Mm-hmm.
She was always looking at was at Jim Abbott, and she was like, "I want you to be a pitcher, and play baseball." But nobody wasn't really playing that much baseball around the way, So we're doing it in the schoolyard a little bit, but nobody was really doing it, playing football, playing baseball, all the time in the neighborhood. So, you know how it is. You kind of get to the sport that's around the way. That's it. That was football first. Everybody played street football, throwback tackle. So that was all first love in the city.
Yes, sir. Good, Coach.
So I know you said your mom is the one who lit the fire on you, but you got 8 brothers, bro. Y'all got a walking mob. Which one of your brothers would say was the one that pushed you, or which brothers pushed you to be, you know, the most competitive? Like, was it what I know you said it was competition in your household, but which, where were you in the 8? Were you the youngest? Were you in the middle? Like, are you the oldest of the 8? Like, how does that dynamic work with brothers? I got one, and I know how it was for us. So you got 8. Y'all, you don't even got to put together. You ain't got to ask for no help. Y'all, you got your own competition.
Yeah, I was the youngest out of 8.
Okay.
So, man, I don't care. It was my brother 3 years older than me, 5 years older. Man, they was trying to kill me every day. Because sometimes we spent our summers. My mother, she was a single parent mom, so we'd spend our summers down in Mississippi, like the whole. We on the dirt road, and we just open field, and we just, uncle, how it is, uncle putting the court up for you, our plywood, and we playing every day, every day outside in the heat, every day. And they was beating me every day until around like 13, 14. You catch a little growth spurt, because I'm the tallest out of all my brothers.
Okay.
My brother, one of my brothers, Coach Jenkins. I know y'all know Coach Jenkins, right?
Absolutely.
So he played football. He played football for UDC for a minute, and he went in for a little bit, had to do a little bit of time for a minute. But when he got out, he saw that I was I had it, so he started pouring it to me after that, because he like 10 years older than me. So I got all my, like I said, 8 older brothers. Man, shoot, I got man.
Getting some flashbacks now. So how was it when you went? You said you would go down to Mississippi. A lot of times, when cats go away for the summertime, especially you start seeing like middle school students or from middle school to high school, maybe even from elementary to middle school. When you go away, like I used to go away all the time to New York for the summers. And every time you come back, you just feel like you came back with a little bit of different edge, especially as an athlete, because you're competing against different athletes. So what was it like going away for the summer and then coming back and competing within your neighborhood? Like, did you notice any difference, or because you was with your brothers all the time, you guys were just always at that, on that level?
Yeah, I just noticed that when I used to get back around late August, so I was getting more athletic than everyone else, because I was outside all day.
Yeah.
I get up in the morning, we got to do chores, and chores was crazy back then. We talking about picking watermelons in the garden, and then you get your free time, and then you eating four times a day. They feeding you well, so I'm coming back stronger, faster, than everyone, that I was, on the block with. And they wasn't doing. They was probably going to the corner store. You didn't get nothing from the corner store. There's food in the house, and it was crazy. I worked at the corner store. I probably was like 8 years old. I used to work at the corner store for my guy. I was working there all the time, tearing up boxes and everything and putting up stuff, pouring up stuff. Back then we was doing everything, man. So yeah, that's what when I got back, I was feeling I was more athletic than a lot of cats on the block.
Yep. That's
dope. And Doug, so as you progressing through as a youth in your athletics career, say heading into high school, what would you say you were more known for, football or basketball?
Man, football, but that basketball, I don't know, it was a different itch, man. I I was known for, because I didn't even, like my freshman year, I played my freshman year, and I got peer pressure playing football. Max, Big Max, you remember Big Max?
Yeah.
They way older than me, man. They just kept on, man. You gotta play football. You gotta play football, because from the neighborhood up on 14th Street, so we playing throwback tackle, and I'm 150, man. They like 240, and they keep on trying to. And I played nose guard. It's crazy. I played nose guard my first year. They with the group. I started at nose guard. They just wanted me with their group, you know. So I mean, football, I had it. I had it in football. It was kind of easy. That's why right now, all the kids that I have that play basketball, you know, they athletes, and I tell them, look, football might be the easiest route for y'all, and it's true. A lot of them, you know, playing in the NFL now. A lot of them playing high level D1. You know, basketball is a bigger pool. You know, basketball is just, I mean, it's a smaller pool. Football, I'm not saying it's easy. It was easy for me. It was easy for me. Seeing y'all play running back, linebacker. It was just so easy for me. You know what I'm saying? Because I had that go hard in me already. But basketball, harder for me. So I'm a competitive. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to be able to learn how to read. I used to tell people, man, I used to average sometimes, man, a triple double. I had so many oohs and ahs, it was crazy. You know, I love the crowd. You know, I was just not the crowd at all. You know,
Right.
You know, back in how boys come to the game, uptown the game, man, and you hooping for them. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, you hooping harder for them than a college scout most of the time. You know. So,
Yeah. So you entering the ninth grade. Did you know which high school you was going to, or was there a few high schools that you was considering? Was somebody trying to pull you one way or the other?
Yeah, St. John's, but I couldn't do it between us all boys, and man, couldn't do it. He was, man. You remember Eric McLeod? He used to play at Georgetown. He was,
yeah.
I'm like, oh man, I just couldn't do it, man. The whole thing, I couldn't do it. I wanted to, you know, I wanted to play in my neighborhood, like else back then. Wanted to play in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So you ended up going to Roosevelt, right?
Yeah, Theodore Roosevelt.
Yeah. So how was that transition? So you started at Roosevelt. Did you have to play freshman or JV first, or was it straight varsity? How did that work?
I went played straight varsity football.
Okay.
Played straight varsity football. Then I didn't play for 2 years football because I was trying to focus on basketball. I played my freshman in basketball. So, yeah, it was competitive. It was real competitive. You know, back then you had like 100 people trying out, but I knew I had it by my sophomore year. You know, I caught a little growth spurt because I came up in Roosevelt probably like 5'9", something like that. You know, and I got a little growth spurt like 4 inches. So after that, you know, you feel a little different. You know.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Coach.
So when you're doing the football stuff and just sports in general, you have obviously you have a disability with your arm. Did that play a part in any of your decisions? Because football is, I mean, I play running back and linebacker and safety and all that good stuff, man. It's a crazy sport. Did you get any pushback from that, or was it just because you had that go hard mentality? I mean, 7 brothers make you tough. So what if any type of pushback did you get, or any apprehension for you playing, or again, just because again you just rough and rugged and nobody even paid attention to it, you just was out there doing your thing? Like, what if any did that play a part in your decisions with your sports that you played and just sports in general?
Well, it wasn't no pushback from coaches at all, because back then all the coaches, they knew me since elementary school. Like I went to all like Buster schools. I went to, you know, Powell. Then I was balling for a year. Then things went wrong there, so I had to go to a private school. But all the teachers and coaches and all that, they was right there in the whole neighborhood. So knew from club ball, but some of the jokers that was playing, they was sleeping a little bit. It's funny story when my senior year when I started playing football, because everybody was knowing me for basketball. So, new cats don't know who I am. And first practice, that pit, you had to go in the pit. Man, I put five people out of practice.
Wow.
And put jokers, big guys, So I had to get right back into it, let them know that I ain't just know. People think basketball players soft. So when I got to the football field, and I played football, being competitive here because my man Ed Sheffy, you remember Ed Sheffy?
Absolutely.
So all over there, Anna, him, Jermaine, rest in peace, all. They was like, oh man, we killing you. They beat Roosevelt bad in football. So I'm like, I can't let y'all keep on. They talking trash, spending out of my house every night. We talking trash. I'm gonna show y'all. So I started playing football again, and showing them that look, we do this uptown too. We play this football, because they had a mob over there. I ain't gonna lie, and all they're athletes, man, and that's just around 6 and number 11. Boys and girls playing on that rock field over number 11.
So when you're doing the football piece, did you find that football made you a better basketball player? Because you said there's always the assumption that basketball players are soft. But I train a lot of kids, and whenever I have football kids, man, I tell them, if you can play basketball, man, or if you're already playing basketball and you get around guys that's playing football, it just makes you tougher. Did you find that to be true for yourself, or you was just, again, I keep always try not to ask dumb questions because you got 7 brothers, you just tough anyway. It don't matter. But did you feel the difference that football made on the basketball court?
Well, I think it made you tougher, but basketball is easy to go over to football to me. And I see for a lot of cats it's easier. Football, when I come on football, I'd be, kind of rusty a little bit. Kind of rusty with the, jumping and moving and everything, because I played fullback. It's tougher. You're tougher. You get the and ones. You don't care about falling, and because a lot of kids now, I know they worry about falling all the time.
Yeah.
So that piece, yes, but going to basketball, football, man, you just have better agility. Like we come from football, you gotta drop a little bit of weight, a little bit going to basketball.
Yeah, that conditioning different too. Run up and down that court, that change of pace is crazy.
Football, and you don't be in that much shape like you be in that much shape. The football, you get a rest every, so
100%.
Basketball, you just go on a lot, So it helps them outdoor sports, people that play outdoor sports like lacrosse, soccer, everything. Outdoor sports they just tougher anyway,
Yeah,
for sure. So when at high school, so I always heard about your football, and I never got to see you play football, but like I always heard the stories about how much of a beast you were out there on the field. But I did get to see you firsthand on the basketball court. And man, I just remember, man, you was out there, man, making people look foolish where people was, they were scared to guard you out there. I remember we was in a Christmas tournament together, what I mean? And we was out in
Mount Vernon?
Chantilly.
Oh, Chantilly, yeah.
Yeah, Chantilly. And you were out there playing, man, and I just was looking at the crowd reaction and some of the ball players for the other teams that I think that they were in y'all bracket. And everybody was talking about, man, I hope they don't win, man. I don't want to have to go, I don't want to go him because you was out there making people, man, you was cooking, you know what I'm saying? But so at the end of the day, knowing that you were such an elite basketball player and an elite football player, how did you make your decision? Like, which one am I going to do? Like, after I get out of Roosevelt, after I get out of high school, because I know you had recruiters and all that stuff coming at you from both sides. How did you decide which way to go?
Like I said, man, basketball is just that it got that itch, man. You know, like I said, coming uptown, you got, man, be honest, it's crazy, but you got a playground, a court on where I live at. You talking about every 3-block radius, you got a court. They hooping. I'm talking about both courts with the old heads and the youngest. They just hooping. So as soon as you come outside, it's just basketball, and that was the culture. You know, Urban Coalition, the Kenner League, everything was, man, basketball was more sexier. It's just what it is in DC. And you know, I know a lot of kids say we got the culture now, but you know, when we was coming up, it was the real culture of basketball. You know, like we didn't care where we went to go to school at. We just wanted to hoop.
Yeah.
And so it was easy for me to make that decision. Like, it was much easier for me because I didn't love football. But I love basketball. I just love having that ball in my hand and knowing I can control that motherfucker in front of me. He couldn't do nothing with me. I don't care if they trying to guard me, make me go left. I go left. You know what I'm saying? It was a joy. You know, we had summer leagues everywhere on the playground, like Ridge Park, summer league. You know, you got Berry Farm. You got everything. It's just basketball is DC, DMV is basketball. You know, I know it's football players coming out and everything else, but it's nothing like basketball in the city, especially in the summertime. And then when high schools, people be depressed. Look, when summer over, people be depressed. High school, you know, people be depressed. There's no more basketball to go watch. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who was who was recruiting you? Like who were you considering in terms of going to play college, or did you take any visits?
Yeah, man. I had one, Georgia Tech. That was one D1 that was really recruiting me heavy. You know what I'm saying? I came out the same year. You know, Marbury came out.
Right.
But, you know, the SAT was rough with it. The SAT, we wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared for the SAT. You know, so I was, you know, I went to prep school for a minute. Went to prep school, then went from prep school to McNeese State. So I was at McNeese State first. Then I had the red shirt because of the whole prop thing. Then I went to JUCO, and we won a national championship in JUCO. That was, you know, that was big for me to go play. You know, JUCO. That was highly competitive, real highly competitive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I'll before I pass back over to Coach. Oh, go ahead, Doug.
I had more schools in football. That's crazy, but I had more schools recruit me in football.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Dang, that's a good position to be in, brother. Good gracious. Yeah.
And I only played 2 years of varsity football, but
yeah,
it was easy. They saw, you know, most time in football, man, they see a kid walking in the hallway and they'll offer him without even, you know what I'm saying, without even seeing them playing on the field. Like, I had so many kids like that, man, that you'll see it'd be like 6'5", 240, coach like offer him a high D1, offer him a scholarship just because he played basketball and he know he can move on the basketball court, so automatically he think he's, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we just had a guest on here not too long ago talking about his experience playing against Antonio Gates. You know what I mean? And, you know, Antonio, he went to college as a basketball player, but ended up, you know, being a Hall of Fame football player. But so, I mean, that transition is definitely something I know that can be done and coaches look at just because of the height, the size, the athletic ability, and all, like a big hand, stuff like that, you know, that a lot of times those football coaches look at from their athletes.
So yeah, I just looked at something on Instagram other day. It was like the blue chip, the LeBron old team, younger son, old team, the blue chip AAU team. But they was like, what are they doing now? Man, you got 5 of them kids, main kids was on the playing Georgia football, Ohio State, West Virginia, everything. You know, they playing high level football.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the only ones was like just Mikey Williams and Brawny, the only one still playing basketball.
Right.
But
I mean, yeah.
a lot of kids don't want to. It's just because the culture here. I see a lot of kids here that supposed to be playing football. They're not playing. They playing basketball, and that's because of the culture, and that's how I got caught up too. You know, you go to Urban Coalition and you see Kurt Smith. Come on, you got Penny there. You got, what I'm saying, Rasheed Wallace. You see all these players playing, and you seeing Kurt Lee coming from Baltimore, Sam Cassell, and you seeing that a long while. You can't even get in the gym.
Yeah.
You right here. You ain't get.
Yeah, it's crazy because when you speaking on that with what one thing that we always say with football is you can't teach size. Like I can take a 6'5" guy, and as long as he got a little bit of heart, we can put him on a practice squad to just give a look. You can't do that in basketball because you got to move. So you got 6'5", 6'6", 6'7", that if you can't handle the ball and you can't shoot, unless you can play some outstanding defense, you just a regular dude. Because what is it? I think I seen something when my son was coming out. Like they had like, was it 6'9" and above? Like looking at, and I'm like, God, that's 6'9" and above. We just trying to get to 6 foot. But it's different because like I said, you on the island with basketball, man. You got to be able to play both sides of the ball. You definitely got to be able to play defense, and if you can't handle the ball, then you in trouble. So it's a little bit different for size when it comes to football, as you know, because I can put a dude that's 6'6" out there. All I need you to do is be in a spot and go forward. If we can get somebody to block down on you, give a little bit of resistance, it's an easier transition for that. So they'll put some money on that because there's a lot of guys that look the part that can't play a lick of football, but they get they going to school for free, and more power to them, boy. Can't teach that. So God bless them.
It's just more difficult, it's just more difficult to play, so that's why I fell in love with it, because I'm an athlete, but really I'm a competitor. You see me coach basketball. I do the same way. How competitive I was playing, that's the same way I am in developing kids,
Mm-hmm. Awesome. Well, what AAU program did you come up through, Doug?
First played for Simeon.
Mm-hmm.
Away, and then I played with Miss Tillman for a minute with PG Jaguar.
Okay.
Playing with Pompey. So small little groups, I played with Pompey and Chris Pompey.
Yeah, for sure.
I playing with him. He got everybody from around the way. That's what he did. Got all the inner high kids, So yeah, that was a fun experience. But he wasn't all that crazy back then.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't like it is now, but AAU was still exciting because it was like for us in our era, it was like you was playing for pride, like from like the area where you was from. So you go to these national tournaments, whatever, you get to compete against Chicago, LA, Boston, whoever. And we was trying to show that, this area had the best ballers, you know what I mean? So that's what it was all about, for us back then. I think now it's just it's crazy. I don't even understand AU right now. But back then, I mean, it wasn't like those practicing every day and nothing like that. You practice ahead of the tournament a few days, and then you get on a plane and go, or play in a tournament and go. And that's what I loved about AU, just being able to rep where you was from and get to bump against players that you may not have been able to play against otherwise, just because they was from around the country. So, and I used to love you. So I always had to shout out my mob because I love Executive 3. I tell everybody I think we the greatest AAU program ever assembled, but everybody got their opinion.
Hey, Mr. Bates.
Mr. Bates, man, rest in peace, brother. Man, Mr. Bates was a bad boy, man. Give us those old T-shirts with the numbers peeling off, and bring your own red shorts.
You was hooping though.
Yeah,
was hooping, and that's what it all. Like I said, I don't remember practicing.
Right.
I remember practicing. How Miss Tillman got me to play with her was we was playing up UDC. It was like just a little rec game, and I was busting whatever team they was playing against, Willie Bullock and them, and I was busting their ass, and it was me, Shuffy, Jermaine, all us on the same team, and she like, man, look, y'all trying to go play with me next week? We ain't had no damn practice.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So now, like, you have to practice because, believe it or not, the kids are not playing enough. People think when I be saying they're not playing enough basketball, when I mean not playing enough unstructured basketball. They under the whistle and getting coached the whole time. And I'm like, nah, this is not the way. Y'all got to go play basketball, go find somewhere and go play basketball. You know, they don't do it. It's like every weekend they want to go play in a tournament, or every weekend, every day they don't say, hey man, I'm going to go hoop. They say, I'm going to go train.
Yeah, they want to be on Instagram.
I got basketball. Y'all know that, right?
Yeah.
So I fool them a lot. They think we training a lot with my stuff, but no, we're going 1-on-1, 3-on-3, and 5-on-5 all the time.
Yeah.
So details which you teach you how to play, because I'm a big thing about teaching. Like I know people, we call it training, but people do train. But I try to teach, teach angle spacing and make you tough. You know what I'm saying? And just concepts. My thing is concepts and confidence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's crazy. That's crazy to say, because when we did our trials, I used to have a facility here called the campus, and we originally only wanted one team, and that was to be around my son. But we ended up having like 8 teams, I believe, and it threw everybody off because the way that we did tryouts is you came in, we had 6 courts. The one court was 1-on-1, and if you could do well in 1-on-1, we put you in 2-on-2. Then from 2-on-2, you went to the next court, 3-on-3. And then if you could get to the court where they were playing 5-on-5, you showed us something. And the kids didn't understand it. And we had to break it down to them. Like, if you can't transition from 1-on-1 to 3 versus 3, then how you gonna play a 5 versus 5 game?
There you
Like,
go.
they don't understand that. Like I said, they're so used to either playing 1-on-1 or run up and down the court. But when you see them play in a game, they have no understanding how to. Because it was funny, I was watching something the other day where they were talking about, how does pickup work when you go and play? It still lasts where you okay, I just walk in the gym, we just figure it out. Whoever's playing, it don't matter who you're playing with, y'all figure it out as you run up and down the court. Well, part of that is if you got dudes that don't understand how to play basketball, y'all ain't winning unless you got just one dude that's jacking all the time and he's trying to dominate. But I think, as you said, coach, is if it's you have to play basketball because everybody has a gift and everybody has a weakness. And if you don't know what your weakness is, how you gonna get better? Everybody wants to try to build off of what I'm good at. No, you gotta work on the little things to get better. Because if you don't, it's gonna show up against a team that knows how to play team basketball and can pull you out and get you at a disadvantage with the one-on-one stuff. Because if you can't play defense, you can't play nowhere. Like, I don't care what it is. So that's dope that you said that, and I like that aspect of training because we are here practicing and getting to understand the nuances of the game.
Yeah, and they can't play defense because, like you say, 90% of the time they going against a cone.
Yeah.
You don't know how to react.
I got cones in my practice, but my cones are not for acting like that's a man. It's how to flatten the defense out, what angles to go to, and everything. Those.
Yep.
And I see some trainers, they crossing up the cones, and I'm like, no, we gonna play. When we do that, we gonna play.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? That's where they lack a defense because of that. You got to bump, man. Every day, I believe every day you got to play basketball. Like I probably had to do it a lot more because my so-called disability. But man, every day you got to bump. I mean, we get on shot. I can get shots on my own. You know what I'm saying? But every day I think you have to bump.
For sure. For sure. And you said something that kind of took me back to my upbringing in terms of, you got the kids out there playing 1-on-1, 3-on-3, all that stuff. And that's how my father had me. I played a lot of 1-on-1s, 2-on-2, 3-on-3s, and he was teaching me the concept of how to play 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, like no wasted movements, no wasted dribbles, teaching me about possessions. Like you playing one-on-one, you're not just checking the ball up and going to hoop. It's about possessions. You know what I mean? You trying to get to your spots where you know you can make high percentage buckets, and you know what I mean? You keeping the ball. You playing make it, take it. You never giving the ball back because you're getting shots that you know you can make 9 out of 10 times, stuff like that. And then we playing 2-on-2, 3-on-3. He teaching me to pick and roll, you know what I mean? How to come off the pick to look to score, or when to pass, how to pass, which passes to make. And then of course there's the whole defense aspect of it too. You know what I mean? You gotta guard your man.
Mm-hmm. Dad was a teacher. That teaching the game. And would you that make it take it? So like in how we play, I play one-on-one. It's like you say, possessions count. I make the kid, if the defense, they can get the rebound and take it back up, because it makes the offensive guy go for his rebound, make the defensive guy box out. But I try to tell my younger coaches and coaches around me, they do it where they might, you could just take a crazy shot, right? Take a crazy shot and you don't get penalized for it. So it's just one shot and it's done. The offensive man don't try to get the rebound. The defense man don't have the box out. They just one shot and it's over. I said, that's not even reality basketball. Yeah. So when kids not having motors and they don't do this, I said, look, it's all the coaches' fault. It's never the kids. I always say I never had a bad kid, ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I never had a bad kid. It might be the parent can't stomach the work we doing, and it might be tough. They might can't stomach it, but I just think we got to get back to teaching, like you said, like your it was teaching you everything about concepts. Was a good shot, bad shot. When right now, nobody value possessions no more. You know, and I guess it's the analytics now where they just get in the shot. And I'm like, damn, why would he take that shot? And the dude like 6 inches shorter than him. You'd think that they're going to take it to the paint and dog them. Mm-hmm. Not even the three. They'd take a side step back three. You know, and it's just a bad possession, you know, and that comes from, like you say, even a one-on-one. You can shoot a bad shot, you know.
Yeah.
Check it. He got to check it right back up to him. Be, you know, it's kind of back to me. It's backwards, and they call it old school, but I just call it school. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Way of doing it.
Yeah, fact. And Doug, did you always know you wanted to be a coach? When did the coaching bug hit you?
College. I had a coach that was like Popovich, man. Coach George Nessman. Mm-hmm. Made the game seem easy. When I'm thinking that I'm trying to do all this cross, I remember he used to be like, "Come on, man, what you think this rucker part? I'm trying to cross everything up all the time." He like, "Why you know?" He like, "All you gotta do is make that read here, make that." He didn't yell at me. He was just sit your ass down. You know what I'm saying?
Go think about it.
He made that, you know, Berkeley dude, you know, Bay Area guy, white guy that I played for, but he understood all the concept and space. So when I got back and I started coaching at Roosevelt, I first started coaching at Roosevelt, and it just came me. I was just breaking down the game to kids to make it easier for them, you know. Mm-hmm. It came easy a little bit because me playing, everything had to be, you know, sharp. Angles had to be playing. I had to think faster than the next man, you know, to get to my spots and everything else. So sometimes I think that's a gift, you know, a gift that I can see things before it happen. Like I could tell when a kid gonna turn the ball over if he dribbling in the wrong lane and he letting the defense, you know, shift over from the weak side. Like you guys should try to make the read quicker, get into the middle, you know, like that. I kind of can see it a little bit faster, a little bit, you know. And I take underdogs too. I try to grab all the underdogs. I don't fuck with the prima donna. I don't fuck with them at all. I can't coach them. You know.
Yeah, and that was going to be one of my questions. Like, what is the hardest transition working with kids that are talented but don't want to do the work, or parents that are unrealistic? Like, what for you as a trainer? What is that, or a coach? You know, trainer and coach. Like, What's the biggest thing for you when it comes to that? Like your biggest pet peeve or the thing that you find most difficult?
Well, some of the parents are unrealistic, but really, if you work, you realistic. You know what I mean? They just can't stomach that, because if I could do it with one arm, if them motherfuckers put in 80%, they can get there. You understand? But they don't want to. They don't want to stomach it. They don't want to challenge it. They don't want to do the stuff behind the scene. You know, like say if I'm doing my dribbling drills, and it come next a week from now, these motherfuckers still fucking up on the same dribbling drill. That means they not on there. They sidewalk. They not walking that street patting that motherfucker. They not doing it. You know what I'm saying? At all. And once they come there, they think it's only work when they come to to practice.
Yeah.
You know, because the real characters what they do in the scene. So I mean, the kids, I can coach if they let me push them, because as a kids you have to push. Like mostly all the talented kids, I'm crazy on. Like kid Doug McDaniel that played for me at Memphis, and a kid named Rowan Brumbaugh, he had Tulane. I just saw they both of them make they got preseason first team all conference. And Doug mother, she sent it to me and everything, and I was like, think about it. I was crazy on them. Those two kids that I might was the hardest on. Little Doug because he was a small guard, Ron because he was a white boy from Georgetown. I told him, motherfucker, you're a white boy. You're an underdog. You like me now in the game. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you got to go hard every single day. And Doug was a small point guard. I told him the same thing. You read faster. You got to defend 94 feet. And, people doubted them. And like you say, they playing D1 basketball. So,
Doug Tough, my son used to run with him when he did the I forget, but him and my son played ball together a little bit and against each other. With damn, what is I can't even man. CT is real over here, but Doug is tough.
yeah,
Doug tough.
yeah, it's tough.
Oh, PYBL, my bad. They played in the PYBL together. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So Doug, if you can explain to our viewers and listeners about some of the basketball what would you call it, academies or programs that you're associated with. I know you have your Prospect University Academy, and then you also been associated with the Washington Warriors and also Bethel Academy. Can you explain to our viewers and listeners about those different basketball academies?
Well, yeah. Well, my baby is Prospect University Academy. Those for the kids that really want to get in the mud and develop, underdog kids that not worrying about the circuit, at that, because kids they worry about the shoe circuit in the 8th grade, 7th, and it really don't matter at that age. The only thing I care about really is 16 to 17s when it comes to the circuit. So that's why you see I coach 17s, with the and a lot of parents, they don't understand that, So it's to me, that's what I grind. I really grind there because I try to get the kids up top. And Prospect U, like I said, we was independent. I had kids that was top 100 ESPN when I was independent, So and it was a lot of doubt where people always just try to snatch kids from me, and it was always, the independent kids can't be top 100 ESPN, they can't go D1, and I was through every time, so every year bring them through. Bethel's a great situation, I'm not coaching there no more, but I still help out, my guy, he's the owner of the school, and it just gives you a different, they got a great AI program, they got there academically for the kids. You got quantum movement. They do all the strength and conditioning, and they got skill work. They do the skill work with MVM. So it's good. And then you see a lot of other schools doing it right now too. you know, a lot of these private schools, they online and kids are playing more, you know, more basketball. They're playing like a heavy schedule. And then Washington Warriors, I think Adidas, to me, but I think that's the best circuit because I think EYBL, you see kids scoring 40 and all. Man, come on, dog. Ain't nobody scoring 40 and all that on me. But I think it's more show they know who you are. Adidas, they give a hell who you are, and they talented. But it's more, man, they locking up. You got the Indiana Elites, the D1 Minnesotas, New World, Compton Magic, the game. It's tough. Like that Adidas circuit is tough, you know, competitive. So that's why I like that circuit. You know, I've seen the EYBL. It's okay, but and most of the time, them motherfuckers be ducking me. All Nike teams around here be ducking, don't even want to play other teams, you know. So they think they here, you know. And then when I play them, I'm always busting their ass, so it don't
matter. Right. Yeah, we had a young man on the show not too long ago that I believe that you're associated with, Darius Bivens. Yeah, can describe his game and what you see in him, because I think he was a very very sharp young man when we spoke with him. We saw his tape in terms of the way he played. He was so composed and, you know, under control, played at his own speed. Well, what do you see from young Darius?
Young boy, don't get fooled with the baby face.
Mm-hmm.
Fool, he is straight dog the whole time. Dog. Like when his father first brought him in the gym with me, like fifth grade, and you talking about he foaming from the mouth. I'm working him, and he never gave up. He never gave up at all. He's the type of kid. He's so bad. He's like us. So you might catch him around his way, just at the park. Might be playing against some randoms. He just hooping the whole time. He hooping with old heads at the gym. So really, with him, it was just more of playing him up. I always played him up. He was 8th grade. I was playing him at 16s. So that's why it was so easy for him to come straight on the Adidas circuit and win 16s, 3SB on the first year, you know, coming in. But his game is real pace, because I told him you have to play a lot of basketball, you know, when he's young. It's crazy. We just finished winning the championship out Vegas. That was his last game with me. And it's funny that he sent me a long text. It was like, man, this was some years with you. I remember when you first told me, if you fall in love with adversity, you're gonna be the best point guard, you know, in the area, and top point guard in the nation. And he remembered that. I told him because I was working him.
Mm-hmm.
Because I saw, you know, same thing, you know, they looking at him being small, so you got to be a dog. But he got, like, I'll teach him how to play with that pace and understand them angles. Shorty got it, man. Like, he got it, you know. And he still work. He humble. He humble too. He don't even think that he's there, you know, because his main thing, he want to get to that, you know, he want to get to that league. You know, he want to be good in that league. So Youngin, yeah, y'all got one out VA. Y'all,
yeah, for sure. Go ahead, Coach.
So let's go back a little bit. So when you went to your prep school, can you share with the viewers, because I know we bring it up every now and then with guys that's gone. But what did you think about the competition that's at prep? A lot of people don't give prep and JUCO respect. What did you think about the competition when you got to the prep school?
Man, competition was crazy. Like, it was really good. Like, you know, you playing against MCI, Wichita, you know, St. Thomas More, Cheshire. Like, everybody was in that league. Like, Ed Coder was at St. Thomas More. Man, you had players everywhere. It was because it was a smaller pool. It was a smaller pool. So it was really competitive. Like, real. If you act like you hurt and you gotta go to the trainer, man, you might have your spot taken from you the next day. But we motherfuckers ain't coach trained. We like, I'm gonna dig this shit out right quick because I don't want my spot taken, And then you know how tough JUCOs was.
Mm-hmm.
Like kids now won't even go to JUCO. I'm like, what are you talking about? They don't even want to go to JUCO.
Scared of the competition.
Scared of the because they dogs there.
I won't say competition. They're scared of the reality of competition because all of them think they're D1 players, and they feel like if you go to JUCO and you don't perform, that you don't belong. Like, nah, that's the furthest thing from truth there is. There's a lot of D1 prospects at JUCO. A lot of them have to go there. I'm a JUCO D3 dude, man, and I stand on that shit all day long. We used to go to Virginia Tech and whoop their ass. Like, shit, say what you want to say.
Randolph Macon, I think, beat Richmond on the script.
Mm-hmm.
This might be was in the fives. That's it. Big man, whatever. But the guards and all, some of them kind of same a little bit, coach. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They just be more, deeper physical at the 4 and the 5s. But I'm trying to get more kids because how we're in the portal right now.
Mm-hmm.
I go to junior college. Like, come on, y'all. I'm just sitting there like, this is just a road. Like, because I'm not really, I don't care about, like, keep on talking about the portal. I'm okay with the portal. Like, be honest, I'm okay with the portal because now you might can weed the motherfuckers that ain't really want to play basketball. You can weed them out now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on, we had to deal with the SAT coming up. That was a roadblock, But we like, man, whatever. Send me to St. Jack. Send me to here. Send me. Everybody still was going. How Mr. Bates used to send everybody to JUCO?
Yeah, send them right to St. Jack.
Yeah. So I don't think the portal is a big deal. You know what I'm saying? It's not a big deal. It's just a weeding out process too. Like, they some of these kids don't want to play. They feel if they go to these top private schools around here that they paying $4,000 a month for, I ain't going to no junior college. Okay, then just go to regular school now. That's what I tell the kids, go to regular school. You got hoop dreams, you will go to a JUCO, then work your way up.
Yeah.
They're not used to working their way up no more. Like going from this court to that court to this court, they're not used to doing that no more. They just hand it to them, so that's why they feel like they can't go a different route no more. A tough route.
Mm-hmm. And to both of your points, I think, man, I've always been an advocate of prep school and JUCO because I think that's truly your transition coming from being a boy to a man. You know what I mean? It makes you tougher in all aspects. It makes you mentally tougher, you physically tougher, everything, and then you get to play against people every day that has the same goals that you have, but also have the same ability level. So you out there on the court and people are pushing you to get better and better. And that way, when you do go to a 4-year school, you know what I mean, you're ready to play soon as you hit the campus because you done been through a combine, so to speak. You've been prepared for that moment. You know what I mean? When I came out of Virginia public schools and went to a prep school, I came into the prep school Virginia Player of the Year, you know what I mean, and first team all met. So I'm going out there like, I'm about to dog these dudes. And even though I did, don't get me wrong, but I saw a whole different level of athlete. You had all these guys coming from all different parts of the country, and I'm like, damn, I didn't know dudes can jump like this, or I didn't know that you had forwards this strong. And I'm like, I'm seeing, I'm getting the benchmark now. I'm like, dang, I gotta get my body like this. I gotta change my body. I gotta get more athletic. I gotta get quicker. I gotta get faster. Like, yeah, I was tall and big and was skillful, but I needed to add all that other stuff to it because I just saw a whole nother level of athlete that I was like, okay, I got to catch up to that or surpass it and do what I need to do. So that's the first time I ever got work in the weight room. That's the first time I really started like hitting the track and running the bleachers and all that. And by the time I came out of Hargrave, man, I felt invincible.
Yeah.
So you went to Lee, right? You was at Lee, right?
Yeah, I was at Lee.
Yeah, y'all, you had big guard, you big, you over there. Yeah, no, I feel you though, because in the public schools, really, especially in the city, I started lifting weights when I got to college.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't lifting no damn weights.
Yeah.
Hooping so much, we didn't have time to lift no weights.
Right.
You know?
Always, I listen to people tell me, man, you lift weights, that's gonna mess up your jump shot. So I used to stay away from it because I used to let that, be in my head. Like, nah, I ain't gonna lift weights, then I'm not gonna be able to shoot. But you get the right training and everything. They train you right. They train you for the sport that you playing. Make sure your flexibility stay the same and you get stronger, you lean, all that good stuff. But everybody I know went through prep school or JUCO route. They came out better on the other end.
Yeah, but I like it better. Still, I like it better the way we did it, where we didn't lift that much weights, but we did a lot of push-ups, pull-ups, and everything else. Because now, hey, Cole, now, man, they got these kids lifting weights at 11 and 12.
Yeah, man, that's too early.
Like, and then they trying to find out why a kid tearing his ACL and all that stuff, early. I'm like, y'all haven't strengthened his leg. Y'all can't be, since you got a warehouse with weights and y'all trying to show all this stuff, you got these kids putting weights on them, at an early age like that. That's bad. And then they stiff, equilibrium, they can't move. They so big. I'm like, come on, you got to stop lifting weights, man. They be 13, 14 lifting weights. I be telling most, I probably go on that football field.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like I said, I train a lot of youth here, and I start them young, but I do exactly this. I go bands and bars. I go from bands to bars, and I don't care if they've lifted up, because a lot of times you have coaches, and you got these guys that say they're strength coaches and conditioning coaches, but you watch how the kids come in and they perform the things that they've learned. They're getting taught the wrong things. They don't even know how to protect themselves to lift by themselves. So for me, I'm like, if you can't do the body weight version of it and then transition to the band version, I'm not putting no weights in your hand. Because if you can't handle the resistance of the added weight that it's supposed to be, how are you gonna handle a solid 15-pound dumbbell? And then a lot of times when you training kids, man, they get into this ego thing, like, brother, we can do the same thing with 10 to 15 pounds that we can do with 25 pounds. What we trying? I'm not training your ego. We trying to get better. And you got to maintain, because if you don't do the lifting right, you're gonna plateau anyway. So what are we doing? So you definitely have to be smart about who's doing your training and what they're training for, because at the end of the day, if, like you said, if it don't fit the sport that you're doing, then what are we doing it? Then if you can't keep a kid healthy, why are we doing it? Because that's the point, right? Let's get them to the season so they can perform for the season. You can't have kids out with back issues because you didn't try to have them do hang cleans. I know, like, bro, you can't do a hang clean. You got it's dudes, it's universities. It takes 6 months to teach the correct way to do a hang clean. How you got to mess around with hang cleans in your gym? And then you can't explain why he can't move, or why his back hurt, or why his hips out of line, or why they stiff. Like, you got to know what you're doing.
That comes back where we say about you got the trainers and you got the teachers.
Mhm.
Like I always tell kids, weights get you bigger, but calisthenics get stronger. So when I was at Ballou, we had a kid named Anthony Livingston. He ended up finishing at Texas Tech. It was so funny. This kid never look, man. He might be the funniest story. Kid, I have a coach. This kid, we playing in a little fall league.
Lost him for a second.
It was before the season started. We just having little trials and the kid come down and make a crazy pass behind the back. Did something crazy and turned it over. And I'm like, young, what are you doing? I'm like, he like 6'5", look, 6'5", 300 pounds, right? 6'5", 300. And I'm like, man, whatever AAU team you came from, youngin, nah, we don't do that. He like, what you talking about? I ain't never played AAU. When I said, whatever club ball you came from, he like, I ain't never played no club ball. Then he said, I said, man, I'm getting frustrated. I said, wherever rec you came from. Man, I ain't never played rec ball. this kid was just raw. He was just, he lived on Malcolm X, right on the corner by that Popeyes, Malcolm X and Martin Luther King, right there. So he was just on the playground. So I'm like, huh? And I'm seeing, and then he came down and hit 3 straight and did the little shake, lefty. Man, I asked my brother, I said, man, dude, who's this damn kid right here? My brother's like, oh, he don't got no grades. He don't have no grades. And he said, I got grades. And finally, it was two Aunt Livingston's that went to the school. And this joker here, man, ended up going to Texas Tech, but he was 300 pounds. But this kid in the weight room, what happened was, this one I really, and this is off of my experience. I was just trying to, because he couldn't lift nothing. We might have like the 45 pound with 225s on it, 25 pounds on it. And this joker, man, he couldn't even lift it. So I said, you know what we going to do for a month? We're going to run the bleachers. We're going to do push-ups. And we're going to try to put you on a pull-up bar. This no lie, coach. After that, a month later, this cat was putting 245s on anything and just throwing that shit. So that's when I really found out that, you know, because an old head told me, dude, jail dude that do calisthenics all the time, he told me that people who do calisthenics are, you know, they're stronger. Ones that lift weights. But then when he came in that weight room, he was just throwing it. Me just getting him in shape and doing the calisthenics, he just killed it. You know what I'm saying? And this kid, same thing. I sent him to a prep school after that because he was behind a little bit. And he ended up having double digits at Texas Tech. A kid that never played AAU rec ball. I think, but his parents weren't involved. See, now the parents, you try to go through all that hell with a kid now, their parents, you know, parents are sitting there right in practice watching everything. They can't stomach it. Their kids, you know, tears coming out their eyes because they, you know, got them running hills and stuff like that. But some of the cats over Baloo, their parents barely made it to the, you know, like us, barely made it to the games, you know what I'm saying, like our parents, you know. So I think that the old school way of doing it is the better way because too many injuries, man, way too many fucking injuries on kids that's fucking 16. I still ain't never had a major injury to this day.
Wow.
You know, and I barely lift weights. I didn't touch no damn. I ain't really touched no weights. Even when I got to college, man, I was doing push-ups. I was doing 400 push-ups a day, man. Sets, boom, 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 boom. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't even, and I didn't want to do. It's crazy, but I didn't want to do bench press because the old head told me I never saw a dude with a big chest that can shoot. No, he told me that because he said you got to get your elbows in. You got a big chest. You out here shooting the ball. You know, I'm thinking about him. I'm looking at Anthony Mason and Shaq, all them big dudes. They really couldn't shoot that well. You know,
that's a good point.
So,
yeah. So Doug, for all about,
can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay.
So Doug, for all about,
so a lot of stuff, man, with this basketball came with experience too. You know, and asking the different old heads and all that because, you know, history to me is my biggest teacher. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of parent and kids.
Hello.
What would you say to them for those parents and kids who have dreams of being a Division I ball player or beyond? What advice would you give them in terms of how to handle their kids and to get them to where they want to get them to? Can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I think we lost his volume over there.
Oh, he's back. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
I can hear y'all now.
Okay, go ahead.
Back. So Doug, what I was asking you is,
I can't hear Kobe.
You can't hear me?
I can't hear you.
Dang, you can hear me. Coach, ask me a question.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Coach?
I can hear you.
Okay. So what Cole was asking was for the parents of some of your athletes or that are listening, that of kids that have aspirations to go D1 or beyond, what advice would you give them? You know, as far as, you know, what's the correct way to get them in get them in line to do that. It's one thing to say you want to go, but what advice would you give them to actually help get them there?
Well, the main thing I'm telling them is you got to work hard behind the scene. That's number one. And you got to be able to stomach that adversity, because it's going to be more adversity and downs than ups. You know, that's why when we win a championship, we celebrate hard. You know, when you hit a winning shot, you celebrate hard. But most of the times it's a down, but you have to fall in love with them downs. Like with me coming up, like I say, I never really looked at me having, you know what I'm saying, like a disability. That wasn't even, you know, like my nickname is Uno. That's because I had one arm, you know, added on me. So you got to embrace who you are, what God, you know what I'm saying, bless you with. Like I look at myself being like this, I look at it as a blessing, you know. Yeah. So I don't look at it as, because there's so many strengths that I have, you know, so-called having a disability, that, you know how sometimes when they say a guy that's blind, he can smell better, he can feel something better. It's the same thing. He give you different gifts. So, yeah. You know, and don't care about what no one's thinking, man. No, especially you do everything for the glory of God. Like that's all I can tell them. Like it was a story. Like I learned a lot over at Ballou. It was a kid named Dante Thomas, D1 player. He asked me one day. He said, "Man, Coach Doug, how did you play basketball?" And I was confused what he was saying. I'm like, "What you talking about?" I mean, I worked hard. I was talented, and you know. He like, "Nah, I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about you just walking in the gym. You know, everybody be looking at you." And I was like, "Huh?" You know, I was confused with what he was saying, but then I had to look at it a different way of other people. Some people probably care about how you look and how, you know, different people probably have a disability. It's some people that walk different, you know, tall guys, they feel insecure. But I told him, like, man, you do everything for the glory of God, man, because don't care if you cooking, don't care if you have a bad game, people gonna always have something to say. And now we're dealing with that with the Instagram, with the social media. These kids, if they ain't getting no likes, they think they're not good.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh? So we're dealing with that right now with a lot of kids. So don't care about what nobody thinks, because shit gonna look ugly from the beginning. And that's the type of coach I am. I want the stuff to look ugly, because I tell everybody, we're gonna slice their neck in the end. When you get that scholarship, that's where you slice their neck and show them, like, look, all the hard work I was doing, it all paid off, you know. So try not to care about what nobody's thinking. And even sometimes even your parents, it's hard to say, but even your parents, because these parents are worrying about, because it's social for them. They're worrying about their friends, if their kid scoring, 25, if they go to, the Mazda and they got the sticker on their car. It's real social for the parents, man. I think it's more social for the parents than the kids. But because they got to brag on their kid. They brag on their kid a lot. Yeah. And how my mother do that. She didn't brag on, she raised all them boys, 9 boys. She didn't brag on none of us, Mm-hmm. Oh, she'll brag on somebody. My friends wanted to brag on us, So that's what I could tell them. If they trying to go to that next level, and brick by brick, it's gonna look ugly, but keep on getting up every day. Like if I could do this shit with one arm, you know what I'm saying, lock in mentally, because that's the most. If you lock in mentally, you're gonna be straight.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Can you hear me now, Doug?
He still can't hear you.
Can't hear me?
Yeah, I don't know why.
What you got from Cole?
You hear me, but I can't hear you.
No, I was going to transition this over to rapid fire.
So we usually do a game at the end. We do a segment, Doug, at the end where we do a rapid fire, and it's we try to make it hard, but it shouldn't be real hard. It's just whatever comes to you, whatever your first instinct, your thought is, your opinion is. So we're gonna try to make it as difficult but fun as we can. So Cole, I'm gonna try to transition for you. What's your question for him, Cole?
So we're gonna start with the easy ones, warm them up. Doug, can you hear me now? No, he still can't. All right.
Still
So
can't.
so let's start off with
I'm trying to read lips. I can't.
I'll get him. I'll get him over to you.
yeah. So let's start off with start bench and cut Jordan, Kobe, LeBron.
So he liked to start with, we do a thing segment called Start Bench or Cut. So Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron.
And this the start bench will cut.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now he
Start.
can't. You can't already hear him, so don't get cut off. I'm gonna just tell you that right now. I know how he gonna go. He gonna cut you straight off. Go ahead.
Start Jordan. Bench Kobe and cut LeBron.
All right, you out of here, Doug. I already know. He put you in timeout immediately.
Cut
So
LeBron.
what? He a LeBron fan?
You gonna see his reaction? Look at him.
Oh, I like LeBron longevity, but I'm a killer, man. I like killers, man.
So we just me and him just had a little back and forth the other day when I think they was talking about the one-on-one stuff. And he know Kobe know him. See, I love this because he can't say nothing right now. I can only hear him. You can't hear. But the piece that again, like I said, I felt like LeBron is probably physically the most gifted basketball player that I've ever seen with my own two, like physically gifted. And
Yeah.
that was my only qualm with him, man. He, like we were talking about the one-on-one stuff. Like it was so many times in the game where he could just go down and physically dominate. But he chose to sometimes, I get it. He's a very cerebral player and he's a I don't know if he's a and Cole would Cole would have to correct me on this one because I don't know if LeBron considers himself a pass first type of guy or he's just an IQ guy, right? He's very sure he understands the game. But sometimes, man, just keep the shit simple. Get your ass down in the paint,
Yep.
dominate there because it ain't too many people that can guard him because he's too gifted down there. Even if it is him making a move to dish, I just think he garnered more fear with him inside the paint versus I'm not worried about him hitting. He done hit a lot of game winning shots over his career, but I'm if he hit that shot, I'm cool with that. I never forget we was at the Wizards game. He shot that damn shot and landed in my daughter's lap. like but we're okay with him shooting that. But where we not comfortable with LeBron is for me anyway. You put that dude anywhere on the post, it ain't no competition. It ain't no question. And for me, he just let too many people off the hook. And so for me, that's why I'm at it with LeBron. He just didn't have. And I try to be careful when I say he didn't have a killer's mentality because the dude is a dog. But just the way he played, he let a lot of people off the hook, and he could have that 6, 7, 8, 9 ring because he's just that physically dominant, which he showed just from his longevity itself. So for me, that's my only qualm I got with him. But you can't knock the dude's career at all. He is a GOAT,
He
just
said,
not. Go ahead.
on, like you said, his IQ and his physical. He's physically gifted, but he got cheated not having the great coaches. He got cheated, not having the great coaches. Jordan and Kobe, they had all the great coaches. You know what I'm saying? That put
Mhm.
them angles. Because I was just watching a game with Mike playing against the Lakers in like 80, 88 or something like. Mike had like 8 turnovers, but he was
Mhm.
playing that was letting him do what he do.
Mhm.
But then once he got with Phil, everything cut down. You see what I'm saying?
Yep. 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 So I'm gonna get. I got one for you. And it's not a start venture cut. It is give me your top 5 guards from the DC area.
Top 5.
That's a good question.
I got Stacey Robinson, Kurt Smith,
Okay.
Steve Francis. This not in order.
Yeah, it's your 5. Your 5.
Mm. Linwood. Linwood. You remember Linwood Davis?
I've heard the name. Yeah,
I don't remember Linwood.
I've heard the name. He said, Coach said he don't remember him. Can you share a little bit about him?
Yeah, he played at Roosevelt. He played at my school at Roosevelt. He got to the Final Four, played at Oklahoma.
Oklahoma. Yep.
He was him and his brother. If you look at the All Met with Johnny Dawkins and them, he was All Met. Both of them, they was Earl and Linwood Davis. 82. Yeah. It was, and actually I can go with Johnny Dawkins, and then I go with Linwood Black, Leonard DeBella. That's my 5.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice.
What's your next one, Cole?
I got to go over there because I saw them more. And Stacey Robinson, I saw some clips, and I was like, God damn. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Everybody rave about Stacey Robinson.
Stacey Robinson's crazy.
Yeah, he's a legend. And another one that you hear a lot about in terms of one of the best guards, or maybe the best guard to come out of DC, is Will Jones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You heard me, Doug?
Yeah, I hear you now.
Okay, dope. Okay.
That's what's up. We back.
Could you log
Hey,
on?
Hey, look, I think he was faking that he didn't hear me earlier because that LeBron comment, man. Hey, I was gonna let you have it, bro.
Yeah. The reason why I pick Kurt Smith is because I watched them play all the time. Like number 6 was at Boys and Girls Club, was at Coolidge. He played for Coolidge. So off city, he take us downstairs after we finish practice. Coolidge might go and have a game, and I'm watching them, you know, and I'm watching them dominate the game at 5-9. So,
yeah. Where would you put your uptown brethren, like somebody like Greg Jones or Moochie?
Yeah, they up there. They up there, you know. Well, we was competing against each other a lot too, though. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you're talking about culture, Greg and Moochie, they was putting on a show at Cadoza.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Who would you say your top 5 players out of DC or the DMV that didn't make it to the league? That you thought in your mind, you was like, that's a pro, but they just didn't make it for whatever reason.
Kurt Smith again, Stacey, DeBella, Greg Jones, Henry Hall.
Nice.
Great cook. Straight cook.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Who another start, bench, or cut question. Start, bench, or cut Michael Vick, Lamar Jackson, Cam Newton.
Start Michael Vick.
You about to get cut off again. I really see it.
Who's the other one you said? Lamar Jackson.
Michael Vick, Lamar, and Cam.
Lamar, bench, cut Cam Newton.
Ooh, you saved yourself. I thought he was out of here for number 2.
I must be winning, man. I'm winning, coach.
Hey, that was a C+ answer.
Yeah, his guy's Lamar.
You passed the test, but you know I'm Lamar. But I ain't gonna lie, Michael Vick. I was a Michael Vick guy too. So
Imagine Michael Vick playing right now. How the game has changed when you can't hit nobody and all the crazy stuff. So who you think then?
I'm still taking
all 3 of them. Shit, you.
Yeah, I mean. Look, just to clarify, all 3 of them are elite, are great. That's why they even in the question. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gonna be the odd man out. I get it, but all 3 of them, if you just like what Lamar doing now. Lamar can win MVP every single year. That's how dominant he is. And I think Michael Vick and Cam Newton will be doing the same thing.
I think the only thing that sets them apart is I think out of all three of them dudes, I think Vic probably has the strongest arm. I don't think Cam's arm strength is anywhere near either one of those guys. I mean, he could throw the ball, but fucking Vic, bro, they were showing him yesterday one of the throws he made. He threw that bitch through three people. Like, just on the money. Like his arm strength is crazy.
Yeah,
I
and
know he did that crazy commercial.
Too.
They did a crazy commercial with him. I think I brought up one time before, Cole, where he threw the ball and it hit the dude and knocked him out of the stadium. What people didn't realize, that throw was real. Like that throw was real. It just they animated the last part of him knocking somebody out the stadium. But that throw he made was 100% a real throw. That dude's arm strength was phenomenal. And then you put the fact that he could pull that bitch down and take off. Shit, Mike was phenomenal, man. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Mike different. Mike different for sure. Another star bench and cut, Doug. Urban Coalition. Kenner League. Goodman League.
Urban Coalition, Start, Goodman League, Bench, and Cut Kenner League.
Yeah. Ain't nothing like that old Urban Coalition, bro. Ain't nothing like it, man. Man, you walk in the Dunbar, man, just the energy. As soon as you walk through those doors, man, grab a cup of that good lemonade.
Yeah. It'd be nothing. It wouldn't be, because the pros were scared to come out. You know.
Oh, they came out in droves back then.
Yeah, and then
like,
back I played Goodman League every hour. Gilbert, I played against Gilbert. I played Deshaun Steves. We played against all. We played against all the pros.
Yeah, like in I think the Goodman League, the pros come out, but it's sporadic. You know what I mean? You get them here, you get them there, but at the Urban Coalition, they was there every single weekend, every single game, and it was no limit to what type of stars you'll see walking that building. I mean, I can still remember like it was yesterday when Penny Hardaway was there on the island with G Jones.
Yep.
Man, that was something to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
So I got one for you. Give me your top 5 go-go bands.
Of all time, or
however you want to lay it out.
Backyard. We all grew up together. Backyard. Chuck, Essence, Jump, and Pump Blenders.
Can't argue with that at all. I was on the Chuck. I was in the Chuck mood. I had Chuck playing in the gym all last week. My kids were like, Coach, what do we? Man, shut up, man. I think I even put together one of my reels on Instagram with Chuck on it, man. I was in the Chuck mood last week.
I do that. I play go-go music while I'm got the kids in the gym all the time, man. They act like they don't even know what go-go is no more. I tell them, like, that's why y'all can't get that crossover down like we used to have. Rhythm.
Hey, you said the crossover. I tell them that's why they can't do their A skips and B skips. None of y'all got no rhythm.
For sure. I only got 2 more rapid fire questions for you, Doug. So the first of the 2 is which one? DC or DMV?
What you mean by that?
Like, how would I describe that, Coach? Like, do you
I don't
like?
know. You got me. You see, I gave you the side. I'm like,
Yeah,
what we
no.
doing?
This is a question we've asked a hundred times. So do you rather, like, if somebody, let's say you out of town, you know what I mean, and somebody say, where you from? And I know you from the district, so are you going DC or you gonna say I'm from DMV?
Oh, I sound from DC.
Yeah.
Probably tell them from uptown.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that pride. There's a lot of pride up there. You know,
And
especially
we're
with
talking in terms of like sports, basketball, not just like basically like where you from, but like the sports, I guess the sports background or the sports area that you represent. So you saying DC and not DMV.
it got to be DMV because everything like when we hoop, we just in hoop in DC. Like we'd be up running, shoot. I remember where I used to be at a lot. Our whole neighborhood used to be at a joint called Lee District back in the days.
Yeah.
You
Mhm.
know, met a lot of Virginia dudes and stuff like that out there. Like they was hooping. Like I be telling people, like, man, that must be crazy. Virginia had hoopers back then. They got hoopers now, but I'm saying they had some hoopers. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember the Chantilly tournament, the Mount Vernon. I remember all of them. You know, all them jokers playing. So we got to say the DMV because everybody we play each other. DMV metropolitan area. You know, was come down to like you say sports. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. And when our OGs that used to be the host of this show, Fredo, he created that question because for us and O Dog, he's another host on the show right now, and I think we all had similar experiences. It seemed like coming up and playing hoops or football, whatever the case may be. Like if you was from outside the city, it seemed like we didn't get that same respect. Like, oh man, the Virginia dudes, they soft. All the Montgomery counties dudes, that they soft. So, when you came across the bridge, all of those guys had a chip on their shoulder. You know what I mean? Anytime you had an opportunity to play against somebody that came out of DC or whatever the case may be. So that's why that I think how that question was formulated, because a lot of times, and it's been 50-50 of the guests that we had that's from actual DC, some just say DC and some say DMV. I think it has to be the DMV because if you was a hooper, if you was a ball player, one of those guys, you were going to end up at the same gym as everybody else, whether you're from DC, Maryland, or Virginia. Y'all all there together, and you all pushing each other, you bumping against each other, and making just the talent and the basketball hotbed in this area better. And it was because it was a mix of all of us, not just one particular spot in the area in particular.
Yeah. Because how many? Remember you being up Lee District coming up?
Yeah, I was, man, bro. I was everywhere. I definitely was at Lee District, definitely Pentagon City, Run and Shoot, Doc's Gym. I mean, you name it, I was there. So definitely, I remember when we played. Matter of fact, it was that Chantilly tournament. The first round we played Cardoza, and and I remember I came out on the court and some of the players over there was like, "Nigga, I ain't know you was from Virginia." I was like, "Yeah,
No, you had the long socks.
yeah, yeah."
They knew, thought you was sweet. Yeah, I didn't know at first. I said, "Damn, Slim from." I thought Slim was from out in the city because we was wearing all the long socks then.
Yeah. Yeah,
No,
that's hilarious.
that's crazy because I was a football player, but basketball again was our right to pass it. So you couldn't. I spent a lot of time over in Alexandria because my aunt and a lot of my aunts and uncles went to TC. And basketball was the only way you could prove it. Ain't nobody cared nothing about football because you couldn't really get out there and play like you wanted to. So basketball had to be the sport that you had to prove yourself that you even belong in the area, not just on the court, just in the area. you can't because that's where everybody was outside doing. It won't like today where you can go in and do the video games and stuff. when you go somewhere, you outside, like you outside. So
Yeah,
that's for sure.
yeah. You got another rapid fire question before I ask the last one I have?
I'm always hitting with give me your top 5 black comedies.
Mm, got Red Fox, stand up comedy.
No, comedies, just comedies,
Like
comedies,
movies.
movies. My fault, movies. Yeah, not comedians, movies.
Okay.
But I like how you started. A lot of people don't. A lot of people don't know who Red Fox is. That's my dude.
Had to sneak and listen to that shit back in the day on a recording. But I like Gladiator, the movie Gladiator.
Okay.
I like 300.
Yeah, you an old get her on just fine.
Movie Glory Road. You remember the movie Glory Road?
Yes,
Basketball.
sir.
What's my joint? With cornbread Earl and me.
Yes, sir.
Coolie High.
Cool it high.
Yeah.
Good beat.
Coach Chiefs. Yeah. Last question. We ask this question to every DMV legend, every hooper that come through here from the area. If you can take 10 other ball players with you from DC, the DMV, that you either played with or seen play, whether it was high school, college, pro, whatever the case may be, is your choice. What are the 10 players that you would take with you to any gym, any playground across the country, whether it's LA, Chicago, New York, wherever? Who are the 10 DMV ballers you taking with you?
I'm gonna take Kurt Washington, rest in peace, Kurt Washington. These my dogs. These who I played with and won a lot with.
Okay.
Boogie Washington, you remember Boogie?
Mm-hmm.
Phil, Boogie Washington, Ed Shuffy, rest in peace, Ed Shuffy.
Rest in peace.
Tutu.
Most underrated, one of the most underrated guards out of DC.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna take I gotta grab a big man. Big Bunyan. I won a championship with him. Mike McHale played at San Diego State, 6'9" kid, Big Bunyan. How many is that?
That's 5. You got 5 more.
I'm gonna take Jones with me because I need some real scoring, good scoring. I'm gonna take Mark Tillman, Kurt Smith, Thomas Treadwell. Remember Treadwell?
Yeah, with the good counsel.
Yeah. How many is that right there?
That's 9. You got one more.
Got one more.
I'm gonna take for the money. I'm gonna take Charles Smith with me.
Smitty.
Yeah,
I like that 10.
We gotta have some defenders.
Mm-hmm.
And those most of Joe play the same play that we get that.
Yeah. I definitely like that Smitty pick, man. When you talking about defenders, man, he one of the best I've seen, just like in your chest, man, 94 feet, not letting up. Yeah. I remember we was at the run and shoot, and this is like when he first came back home, and he was on the team, had to guard his brother. And he was giving Kurt fits, man. Kurt just couldn't get off that game, man. And and Smitty team ended up beating the team that Kurt was on, man. I just remember Kurt kicking the ball across the running shoot, man. He was mad as hell, but man, I just never seen somebody frustrated and was stopping Kurt from doing what he normally would do out there on the court. That's the first time I ever saw that. I was like, damn, Smitty the real deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Doug, man, we appreciate you coming on the show, man, and vibing with us and getting through the rapid fire, man. This was an excellent interview. Man, you welcome back here anytime, man. You family, man. And before we go, can you let our viewers and listeners know, like, if they have kids that, you know, they want to run through one of your programs or where people can find you and stuff like that. If you can tell our viewers and listeners that, take the floor, bro.
Yeah, you can find me on Prospect U Academy, University Academy Instagram. Most of my practice out Alexander. So man, they show big love out there to me out there. You know, coming from the city. You know, I'm going like 5 days a week. I'm in 5 days a week. I'm a gym rat. So,
Yeah.
Gotta get in the gym, man. We gotta get in the gym.
All right.
Yeah. I'm on getting the gym. I like getting the gym with, you know, old timers anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm about learning every day. You know.
Okay. Yeah, shoot. Let me know. You know, you got my number. You just let me know. I'll be there.
Okay, that's a bet.
Yeah. So this is the No Cap Sports Show podcast, and Doug Dormu coming at you. We appreciate all of our viewers and listeners tuning in each and every Wednesday. Continue to rock with us. We're going to continue to rock with you. You know what it is. Respect and honor.
Salute. Appreciate you, Coach. Hey, man, continue success.